Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another extravagant few minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. And of course, on our Facebook page, which is Captain Lou Extravaganza. Also, you can see us as always on X at The Real Captain Lou. Hey, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. You get all of our great programming live and archived, including these extravagant few minutes episodes. The Extravaganza with yours truly and my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. We'll have another live episode coming up Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. So make sure you tune in for that. And the ACHA Power Play Season 10, rolling along with the Road to St. Louis. It's in our sights, the sprint portion of our schedule. It's coming up in March. That's the National Championships. And we've got another live episode tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, included as team captain and president of Providence, the women's D2 program in the ACHA, currently ranked number 1 in their region. That's going to be Taylor Finnemore. That and a whole lot more right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. So in order to get all of those, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. And of course, all of our programming, including these extravagant few minutes episodes, is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou and you get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. NHL game you want to go to, NBA game you want to go to. You want to go to the NFL Conference Championship games next weekend in either Denver or up in Seattle. I suggest you get those tickets quick because they're going fast. But you can use SeatGeek and use that promo code Captain Lou and you get $20 off your purchase. Hey, it's free money. Why not? So go to SeatGeek again, the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. All right. Well, we had one heck of a game last night to finish the divisional round playoffs, the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Kind of a cold, nasty day, but the game was hot. And it's just when it looked like the Bears were going to lose to the Rams on fourth down, Caleb Williams, as he's done throughout the early part of his career, made the crazy plays when he needed, snatching victory out of jaws of defeat. Well, temporarily anyways, with that long fourth quarter pass when he was about to get decked off his back foot, found Cole Kmet in the end zone to tie it up. But just as he does, he makes those thrilling plays. He makes those costly errors, as he does a lot as well. Still some growing to do. I was impressed with him for the most part, but he still made some costly errors. And Ben Johnson going for it on fourth down, but you can second guess that all you want. But the untimely interception in overtime was the difference, as Matt Stafford finally was able to get over Ben Johnson and the curse that he had over him in the playoffs. They went down, kicked the game-winning field goal, and the Bears lose. The Rams will advance to take on the Seattle Supersonics, the Seattle Seahawks next Sunday night, 6:30 Eastern time, for the right to go to the Super Bowl in the San Francisco Bay Area. As we all know, San Francisco got thumped by Seattle 41-6 the night before. Seattle just ran over them, man. It was impressive. And they're right now a 2.5-point favorite over the Rams coming into that championship game this coming Sunday night. In the other matchup, in a battle of turnovers and who could make the fewest mistakes, it seemed like, the Patriots and the Texans. The Patriots were able to overcome those mistakes, get some points off of turnovers, and beat the Texans and C.J. Stroud 28-16. They advanced to take on the Bo Nix-less Denver Broncos in the championship game in Mile High Stadium this coming Sunday. Boy, oh boy, the deck is stacked just right on paper anyways for Drake May, Mike Vrabel, and the New England Patriots going up to Denver to take on Sean Payton, and it looks like Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos. I'm not counting the Broncos out at home yet, but it's going to be a tough task for them now after Bo Nix learned that he broke his ankle on the second to last play in overtime in that thrilling matchup against the Buffalo Bills. But it's going to be Mike Vrabel and Drake May and that New England defense, who I said yesterday, very underrated, and they came to play. They're going to be a tough out against Denver now. That's going to be a fun matchup. Low scoring, I think, is going to be that matchup in Denver. I would lean towards the under in that game, depending a lot on the weather, of course. But yeah, I think that's going to be one to keep an eye on as well. So the championship games are set, and it's going to be the New England Patriots going to Denver to take on the Broncos. The Patriots are a 5.5-point road favorite in Denver. The over-under right now is at 41.5. That's close. And in the nightcap in the NFC Championship game, it's going to be the Rams, a 2.5-point dog at Seattle. So basically, that's a pickup game. Now, or pick'em game, I should say. The over-under on that one is 47.5. I tend to lean in the over on that one. And right now, it's just up in the air. I just love how the Rams are playing. I'm going to probably run with the Rams because I picked them to go to the Super Bowl against the Bills before the playoffs started. But that's going to be a fun matchup there as well. Sam Darnold, as I mentioned, he made a believer out of me in that game against San Francisco. Now their defense is going up against a team that is healthy, that being the Rams and Matt Stafford as they look to get back to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford trying to cement his legacy as a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's going to be a great matchup as well. Can't wait for those games next Sunday. So speaking of the Buffalo Bills, they lost that game in overtime this past weekend to the Denver Broncos, and it came down this morning. Sean McDermott has been fired as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills after 9 seasons. We asked yesterday, was it justified that he could potentially lose his job after that loss? 96-50 was his record in 9 seasons at Buffalo. He got him to the AFC Championship game once, couldn't get him to the Super Bowl. They couldn't get over that hump. Is it justified that he got fired as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills? And the next question, is it fixable? Are they going to be able to hire somebody that can do better than him with what they've got? Obviously, they're going to have to make some changes, maybe get a couple of more weapons, maybe get some defensive help. This was the year for them to get to that next step. You know, now, especially without Patrick Mahomes in there, Joe Burrow or anything like that, or the Baltimore Ravens. This had the makings for them to go to the Super Bowl. But again, was it his fault of the turnovers? Was it McDermott's fault that they just didn't have the greatest game on offense? Is it time for a change? The NFL stands for not for long. They had 9 years to do it. If he wants a head coaching job, he'll land on his feet anywhere. I'm sure he'll take some time off, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he'll be right back in the fire. Who knows? And one wonders, is John Harbaugh, is he thinking twice about that? So again, I'll ask it again. Sean McDermott out as coach of the Buffalo Bills after 9 years. Is it his fault? Is somebody like John Harbaugh or Kevin Stefanski, are they kicking themselves by thinking maybe they should have waited till Monday? I know hindsight's 20/20, but here's another plum job that just became open. Here's a team that, is it fixable? I think it is. They're going to need some help. They're going to need a couple of more weapons, maybe some defensive help in the draft through free agency. They've still got Josh Allen. They've got a playmaker. He can take them to that next level. Maybe a fresh voice is it. Who knows? Who's going to be the coach now that they lean to potentially take them to the Super Bowl, a place that they haven't won? They haven't been there in 30-some years, but the pieces might be there. They're just missing a couple of pieces. That's going to be the job that I can't wait. It's going to be fun following to see who gets that job now at Buffalo, as Sean McDermott is fired after 9 years as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. We'll keep an eye on that as well. All right, let's stick with football real quick on the NFL side. It was announced just a little while ago that the Detroit Lions are going to hire Drew Petzing as their new offensive coordinator. And I love how the social media assassins are out and saying that this is a horrible fire for the Detroit Lions. Just remember one thing, Lions fans, as they hire their new offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing. Who knew who Ben Johnson was before he became the offensive coordinator for the Lions? Look what he brought to the Lions. He brought a breath of fresh air. He brought an exciting offense. Just keep in mind what Petzing has had to work with in Arizona and the good he did with what he's had to work with. He's got a China doll, or had a China doll for a quarterback that, let's face it, he didn't even want to learn the plays. He didn't study the plays. It seemed like his head wasn't in the game half the time, and he was injured the other half. Look what he's done with Trey McBride, turned him in to one of the best, if not the best, tight ends in all of football. Look at the production they got out of him. I'm excited to see what he can do with Sam Laporta. Give the guy a chance. Everybody think Detroit is just going to go in the toilet now by hiring this guy as the offensive coordinator. They didn't make the splash hire. Give me a break. My God, give the guy a chance. That's all I'm saying. Give him a chance. I trust in Dan Campbell. I trust in Brad Holmes. I think he's going to be okay. They've got the weapons in Detroit. All they need is some help on the offensive line, a little bit of defensive help. Detroit's going to be right back there. Just don't give up already. Just blows me away at how everybody is just sending Detroit down the river with this hiring. I don't think this is a bad hire at all. Again, who knew who Ben Johnson was when he was the offensive coordinator? Did they make a mistake with Morton? Possibly. They had Anthony Lynn, but they got rid of him. Give the guy a chance. I think he's going to be just fine as the offensive coordinator of the Lions. Maybe, and if anything, he might take the play calling away from Dan Campbell, which may not be all a bad thing. So the proof will be in the pudding. I get it next September when they start the season and all of that. But I'm not upset with this hire of Drew Petzing. I think it's a good hire for the Lions. Mark my words. Just have faith, will you, Lions fans? Don't jump off the Mackinac Bridge just yet, all right? All right. Now, here we go again. Let's switch gears now. Let's talk a little college football, shall we? It's tonight. It is the game. It is Miami. It's Indiana. Miami right now is an 8.5-point favorite against India, or an 8.5-point dog, I should say, at home against basically a home game against Indiana. That's right. The Miami Hurricanes and the Hoosiers of Indiana. Miami is an 8.5-point dog on their home field tonight in the championship game against Indiana. Man, that's an awful lot of points. Two intriguing matchups that I'm looking at in this one. The Indiana defense against Miami's team speed. Have they played a team, that being Indiana, with the team speed of Miami? I'm not sure they have. Really want to see how they adapt to that Miami team speed. And the other matchup, Miami's defense, which I've said all along throughout the playoff, the best right now in all of college football, against the playmaking led by Fernando Mendoza. The Heisman Trophy winner going up against the best defense that he's going to see throughout this college football playoff. Who's going to bend first? Who's going to have the advantage? This is what makes for a very intriguing matchup tonight in this one. And here's my parlay pick. I'm going to go out on a limb. You can buy down the numbers. Right now at DraftKings, the line is 8.5. It keeps fluctuating. I got it with 8.5 earlier today. I'm taking Miami in the points, by the way. I think it's going to be a one-possession game. 8.5 points to me is way too many. But take this parlay. Take Miami plus 10.5 and over 35.5, and you're going to get positive money at plus 108. That's where I'm leading. I think this one's going to be like a 24-17 game or a 21-17 game. Not sure who's going to win. I think Indiana may win, but Miami to me is going to cover. And that home field advantage, even though it's not in Miami, I think there's going to be enough Miami fans. I just think it's going to be one heck of a matchup tonight. There's your parlay bet right there for a pizza pie, or for Presley, a couple of dog biscuits for her. So Miami plus 10.5, over 35.5 is plus 108. So it's going to be a great game tonight. Nonetheless, can't wait for it. All right, finally this afternoon, how about our Detroit Red Wings, huh? Winning a thrilling overtime game last night against Ottawa, 4-3. Did you happen to see that highlight goal by James Van Riemsdyk? One-handed between the legs to tie the game, or to make it 3-2. Absolutely unbelievable. That put Detroit within range. And then how about that overtime slapper by Alex DeBrincat to make it a 4-3 victory for the Red Wings? Needed that win last night to keep pace with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Both teams at 64 points. Tampa's got 3 games in hand on the Red Wings, so that's a big plus for them. But Detroit with the win, 30-16 at the 50-game mark with four overtime losses, 64 points, sitting pretty good with 34 games to go in the regular season. You got to keep it up, just before that potential March swoon that they seem to run into every year. And hey, good luck, by the way, to Mickey Redmond, as he's going to step away from the Red Wing broadcast until probably late February after the Olympics. He's getting fusion surgery on his neck. You saw what the Red Wings team did after the game on the way through the tunnel afterwards. As you know, where Mickey Redmond, he stands for the third period in overtime, broadcasting from in between the benches. If that didn't bring a tear to your eye, the way that they all walked by him, gave him fist pumps. Even Brady Tkachuk from the Ottawa Senators did it. And, just the love that the Red Wings have for Mickey Redmond and the legend that he is, and, the emotion that he showed. He's coming back, everybody. It's just fusion surgery. But to see the love that he has for the Red Wings and what the Red Wings have for him, the players, the coaches, the fans, it just was something it brought chills to me. I was so happy I turned the football game away to watch the end of the third period and the overtime of that Red Wings game last night. The Red Wings are in a good place, and Mickey Redmond's going to be back. But yeah, what a great scene that was at the end of the game, and what a way to finish for the Red Wings. Red Wings with their 7th overtime win at home this year already. And again, Alex DeBrincat, what a shot as he was able to win the game for the Red Wings. How about the Pistons and the Celtics in the battle of top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference tonight? Pistons with a 4.5 game lead over the Celtics for first place in the Eastern Conference. 30 wins for them as well. 8 o'clock is going to be the tip, I think, or 7:30. That's going to be a big matchup between the Pistons and the Celtics. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Enjoy the game tonight between Miami and Indiana. Here's Presley's pick one more time for the big college football championship game. Take Miami plus 10.5. You can buy it down. Buy down the over to 35.5, and you get plus 108. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you real soon. We'll see you tomorrow night for another ACHA Power Play live here at 7 o'clock on the network. And again, an extravaganza Wednesday night with yours truly and Mitch Bernstein at 7 as well. Thanks, everybody, for welcoming us into your homes, on your computers, your laptops, your iPhones, however you watched us around the world, right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving. And as always, keep your minds open. So long.